Brock University is an incredible campus, but it's more than just classrooms. There's all kinds of facilities in these hallways that most students don't even know exist. This year, our cameras gain exclusive access to these areas to show you what really goes on at Brock University. You're watching Brock TV, and this is Behind Closed Doors. All right, so I'm here with Debbie Ingalls, Director of the Cool Climate, Enology, and Viticulture Institute at Brock University. So thanks for joining us, Debbie.
Thanks for having me.
First off, could I have you just tell us a little bit about your position and what you do here at the facility?
So I'm a faculty member here at Brock University in the Department of Biological Sciences, but I'm also the Director of the Research Institute, our Grape and Wine Research Institute.
Awesome, and can you tell us a little bit about the center and when and how it was founded?
Absolutely. So we're actually a partnership between the Wine Council of Canada and the Grape Growers of Ontario. We were established way back when in 1996, and every successful grape and wine producing region around the world has an institute to support that industry, and we had nothing of that sort in all of Canada. So the idea of the Cool Climate, Enology and Viticulture Institute, or CUVI as we like to call it for short, came to be.
Okay, well, we're really excited to check out the center, so let's go check it out.
Absolutely. We're in one of our main wine research labs within the Institute. We're moving into a new wine style of production here in Ontario for red grapes called a passamento wine. And that's where we actually pick the grapes off the vine in the fall, but further ripen them off vine in an enclosed area, whether it be in tobacco kilns, putting them in greenhouses, in barns. So another big area of research that we're focusing in on now for Ontario is sparkling wine production.
So this is a bit of a wine rookie question, but what is the difference between a sparkling white wine and champagne?
So it's just the difference is in terms of where the grapes are grown. You can only call a sparkling wine champagne if it's grown in the Champagne region of France. But we use the exact same grape varieties, which are typically Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. And we produce sparkling wines in the bottle in the same way champagnes are made.
It all just comes down to where the grapes are from.
Yes.
Interesting.
Along with being able to produce the wine and chemically evaluate the wine, we need to be able to sensorially evaluate the wine. Our most sensitive instrument on the market today is still this, the human nose. Samples would be delivered into the booth through the trap door, and all the preparation work would be done on the other side.
So there's somebody conducting the experiment sitting on the other side.
Yes. You can see within the Institute right now we've got the red light on, and that's important because looking at the color of a wine can sometimes really influence what you think you're tasting. There's one more extreme phenomenon we can do to completely block out the color, and that's using a black glass. So we do have a collection of black glasses that we use in the research. In this one, you can see there's absolutely no color that's going to get through. So now we're into one of our analytical chemistry labs within the Institute. And this piece of equipment behind me is called GC mass spec. And we use this to measure the aromatic volatile chemical compounds that are present in grape juice and also mainly in wine. So we share the results by everybody. So here's a sample that's just getting analyzed. So you can see
already miss it, grab it?
Yeah,
already went in there?
You're going to see it at work here,
And so can you take these scientific results and actually predict or imagine what that wine would actually taste like, or imagine certain characteristics of it?
We don't do that sort of extrapolation, but what we do is we take the chemical measurements from here and we map them out with the sensory results from that same wine, and we put them on top of each other. So then we can see for this sensory attribute of floral candy characteristics, it's involving these particular chemicals.
Find the chemical correlation.
Yes. Yeah.
Very interesting.
So part of the Seagram's collection that we inherited some pieces of cork. So this is a neat way to illustrate to students how cork is actually harvested off of the oak trees and then processed into closures. So when a tree is growing, this is the outer bark layer, and underneath the bark is the layer of cork. So this would be a more typical size that would get harvested. You can see that the tree stays alive, and they have harvesters that are very experienced at what they do. They cut into the outer bark and into the cork layer, and across the top and bottom do a circumferential cut, and then they pry this off of the tree. And then it takes about 8 to 10 years for this cork layer and bark to grow back onto the trees. Wow. So when we built the Institute, of course, we needed a temperature and humidity controlled environment to be able to store our wines. So in the basement of Inniskillin Hall is our wine cellar storage area. So this section, the first section, is what we call the Vinotech, and this is where we store our research wines as well as the wines that the students make in the undergrad program. So when you come into this section of the cellar, what you start to see are lots of different commercially produced wines. So we have a program here at the Institute where wineries can donate up to 2 cases of wine, keep them stored within this cellar environment, and then researchers or people from the industry can put an application in to withdraw wines from the library. And once they carry out whatever project they're going to do on those wines, they then report the results back to the committee that oversees the wine library, and the results are disseminated to the industry. Once we're finished with the projects and we're not doing any more research on the wines, then the wines have to be discarded. Unfortunately, yes.
How many bottles are in the cellar?
So total capacity of both parts of the cellar are 44,000 bottles. When we first opened up Inniskillin Hall, we were the first entity in all of Canada to have a Canadian wine library housed within a university to be able to do these sorts of studies.
Very cool. Yeah, I've never heard of the idea of a wine library. It's pretty interesting.
It's your kind of library.
Yeah. Next time on Behind Closed Doors, we head into the Cairns Bioscience building to check out the greenhouse facilities. Stay tuned to Brock TV.